Okay, Bill, we're going to walk through the process of creating a sort of a swath at certain distances around the given sector area so you can create your individual polygons to calculate the NDVI mean. My example here, I'm using 2-degree sectors, but it doesn't really matter. And I'll be using my EC readings. I don't have an NDVI for this. But the first step is to create 2 polygons. So that we can store our inner and our outer circle in. So I'm just going to right click. So a couple things here. Make sure that I'm at the default geodatabase that I want to use. I'm going to right click. I'm going to say new feature class. I'm just going to create my inner clip first. Use polygon features. Hit next. I'm going to select my projection, which in my case is Washington South. I'll hit next, just do all the defaults, hit finish, and I should now have an inner clip polygon ready to go. Do the same thing, right click on my file geodatabase, hit new feature class. We'll call this outer clip polygon feature class, Washington South. Next, all the defaults. Jump through that. Now I've got 2 new polygons, an outer clip and an inner clip. At this point, I'm just going to turn on my editor toolbar, and I'm going to start editing just those 2 feature classes. So we'll highlight our create features. I'm going to start with my inner clip. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click, highlight my inner clip and create that first. I'm going to use my circle to construct this this new polygon, and I'm going to make sure I'm in the center there, and I can snap to the center. Click my left mouse button, and now I'll let go of my left mouse button, and I can just drag my mouse. You can see in the lower left-hand corner down here the distance. Now, if I want to, I can just drag until I get to a certain distance that I can see from a radius standpoint, or I can right mouse click. I can click the radius option here, and I can type in a distance. So let's say we want to go 932 feet out. I hit enter, and that creates that one. Now I'm going to go back to my create features, click my outer, do the same thing, do circle, snap to the center of the intersection, and again come out here, and I'm going to right click again, do radius. This time we'll do 112 or 1200 feet, hit enter, and now I've got my outer clip and my inner clip. Now just so I can see things better, I'm going to move my inner clip above, and so that's a big area, but just, you get the idea. You get your inner polygon, your outer polygon. Now hit stop editing so you can save all your edits. Now you want to take the 3 polygons, the inner clip, the outer clip, and the sector, and union all 3 of those things together. So under geoprocessing tools, you'll see the union option. So basically, I'm going to select my my sectors, then select my outer, then select my inner. And I don't know if it's really important on the order here, but just in case, I'm going to put my sectors down at the bottom, my outer and my inner just like that. And then I can give it a name. Here I'm going to call it sectors union. And I'm going to do a clip just so I know that I'm clipping out some new features here. And then hit OK. And it's going to go off and do its thing. When it's done, it should come back with a new polygon. Okay, union is done. Everything worked out good. Let's turn off these things here. And now I got my new polygon called sectors union clip. And every one of these things is a polygon now. So now what I want to do is get rid of some stuff. So I'm going to again start editing. And I'm going to I'll make sure everything else is off. Right, the base map can be on, but everything else is off. Or you can right click and go down to selection and say make this the only selectable layer. I don't want to grab anything else from any other layer and delete it by mistake. I only want to grab stuff from here. And so first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag a polygon or draw a box around all the inner polygons and do a quick edit and delete and get rid of those. And now doing it on the outside, I can use different ways of selecting. So I can select by a line, a circle, a lasso, whatever. I'm going to do a circle, and I'm going to, let's just try this out. I'm going to grab from the center and then go out just to the inside. I want it's clipping. So let's undo that. Whoops. All right, unselect everything. Okay, so for this step, I'm going to use, there's two things I'm going to do. I'm going to select my circle to select from, and I'm just going to position my mouse over the center of my pivot and draw a circle just to the inside of the inner polygons and select all these inner polygons. I want to keep these. So I just need to invert this selection, which is pretty straightforward. We can just just right click now on my my polygon, open up the attribute table, and this option right here says switch selection. So right now all the inner polygons are selected. I click that, now all the outer polygons are selected, all of one full swoop, and then do edit, and then do delete, and now I can stop editing because I got everything that I want deleted. Hit yes, save that, and now the final step. So the final step is to take this new swath polygon here, which is called sectors union clip, and spatially join that to whatever readings you want to. In my case, it's EC readings. In your case, it would be the NDVI. So I'm going to say join. Do join. I'm going to join data from another layer based on spatial locations. I'm going to use my EC readings. You'll do NDVI. I'll do average. And then I'll make sure that I'm pointing to the right database. So I'm going to go to my Precision Ag, Grower, Ag Northwest, Farm 1. I think I'm going to pivot 2. Yeah, that's the database. And we're going to call this my my final output is going to be sector clipped. Maybe it's 2 P's. I don't know. Anyways, hit save. So I've got my original, right click, do join data from spatial location, pick my feature that I want to join from, do every attribute within that, every point within that polygon, sum up the average. You know how to do this. Find do the name, and then hit OK. And after a few moments here, it's going to process. So now, ultimately, this becomes my final output. This sector clipped becomes my final output. And depending on what I've done, with that sector data set already, if I've already calculated my elevation, things like that, those data sets will still be in there. But what you're looking for now is the new value here, which is, let's see, where would that be? So did average top, oh yeah, so in my case, it went through, and since I did EC readings, it grabbed the average topsoil, the average subsoil, it did the average for everything in my table structure there. But you would have just average grid size, grid cell. And I think that should do it here for you. So let me close this down. Now at this point, you could come in here and highlight these 3 layers, hit remove, you don't need those anymore. Come over here, and we don't need the inner clip, that's done. We can delete that. We don't need the outer clip, delete that. We don't need the sectors union clip anymore, we can delete that. So now cleaning up some of my data sets here. Now I have my final sector clipped polygon feature class, which is right here, which is in my table of contents, which has all my new readings in there. So that should do it for you.